Shalom, Michael Israel here. We got a good message for you today. Um, what I'm gonna be talking about is more about your attention, what you focus on. Um, are you focusing on the things that the Word tells you to focus on, or are you focusing on distractions? You see what I'm saying? Um, and interesting saying that I came across earlier today. I was listening to something, and the individual was dropping some very profound wisdom. And one of the things that he said was, uh, what you focus on, you magnify. Okay, and to me, that was very heavy, and it makes total sense. Wherever your focus goes, wherever your attention is, that increases. You increase that, whether it's positive or negative. This is why the Word tells us to meditate on the Word day and night, because wherever you put your attention at, that is what is going to increase. And one of the other things it says in the Word, I must decrease so the Most High and His ways can increase. And I mean, that's the name of the game out there. When I say that's the name of the game, that's how Satan wars against us. He uses people, places, things, and mindsets, our own mindsets, to get us to focus on anything else but Yah's word, but the ways of the Most High, but how we need to be operating. And what inevitably happens is he gets us, he distracts us and deceives us with things, so that where our attention is so focused on those things and those people, places, things, mindsets, ideologies, you name it, are echoing in our brains, in our minds, so loud we can't hear the Most High Yah. We can't hear from the Holy Spirit. That voice gets real quiet, and our brain, our mind, our spirit, whatever you want to call it, our heart is cluttered with noisy distractions, with a mess. So we can't hear what we need to hear. We can't tune into the signal for all the noise we got going on. And so where you focus, and this is how to declutter, this is how to find the signal and eliminate all the noise. This is how to focus on the Most High Yah and not on all the distractions and everything that that Satan throws out there to get us off track. And again, the way to do that is to focus on the Word, focus on Yah, and it's gonna magnify it. It's gonna, whatever you focus on is going to increase. Okay. And what you have the power to do is you have the will to choose where you're going to focus. It's not going to be easy. There's going to be distractions. There's going to be things that kind of get you off track. But we have the power to choose where we are going to put our attention. And just like that that Bible verse I keep saying over and over, casting down imaginations and any thought that exalts itself against the knowledge of God, and bringing your thoughts into captivity. So this is I like bringing up that particular verse because I feel like, and not even I feel like, I have seen that a lot of people are ignorant of true spiritual warfare. You know what I'm saying? True spiritual combat. Where the battle is actually at. Is in your head. It's in between, like this dude said. He said it's that 6 inches of real estate between your ears. That's where the war is happening at. That's where the battle's at. That's where you gotta fight. That's where you actually have to pay attention. And even though it's amazing because everybody understands what I'm talking about, because you can watch your thoughts. Even though you don't have eyes that can see in the sense of the physical, you know what I mean, that you can watch your thoughts. You can listen to your thoughts. Even though you don't have ears where you can audibly hear sound waves going through the air, but you can listen to your thoughts. One of the examples that I give is this. I was watching this dude. This is a while back. He was talking about the thinker behind the thoughts and all this stuff, and he was like, think of say Pepsi. Say the word Pepsi, but say it in your mind. Okay, don't say it out loud. And he tells the people to do that, and they do it. Okay, and he said, now you said the word Pepsi, and you heard it in your head, even though no sound waves went through your head. There were no sound waves traveling or nothing like that. There was no muscle or tongue or anything or air that pronounced that word through there, but you said it and you heard it. And the purpose of him doing that example, that is showing that is what you need to be paying attention to. That's what you need to be listening to. Like, that is where the war is fought, is right there. You see what I'm saying? And that's what people miss. That's where people are unaware. That's what people are asleep at. That's where Satan run amok on them and just submits thoughts, feelings, emotions, and stuff into your mind, into your brain, and you go with it. You will rationalize it and justify it instead of bringing it into captivity, making sure it lines up with book. You see what I'm saying? And this is the weighty matter. This is where people are getting their ass kicked at in spiritual warfare and spiritual combat. You have people, they will get the deliverance. They'll have the Holy Spirit. They'll pray. They'll fast. They'll utilize all these tools. So if I give you a battlefield, if I give you a battlefield analogy, the equivalent of would be a modern day battlefield analogy. You have on your flak vest, you have your helmet on, you have your hand grenades, you have your battlefield manual, you have your orders get handed down to you from your superior, from your general or your first sergeant or whoever. You've been trained. You went to basic training. You went to, if you're in the Air Force, it'd be tech school training. I think in the Army it's AIT training. I don't know. But you've had all your training. You have your AR-15. You have your ammo in your AR-15. You have rounds in the chamber. The rounds are chambered. You're cleared hot. The safety's off. You're out on the battlefield. You know what the enemy looks like. You see the enemy out there, but you're not firing. You're not shooting. This is a lot of people today spiritually. They're not fighting. They're not going to war. There's no combat. And I'm telling you, this is the problem. And their focus, I'm going to tell you, a lot of people, the enemy's right out there in front of them, right out there in the field, and they're turned around looking the other way. A lot of people are out there fighting the fellow soldier that's right next to them. It's like a discombobulated mess. I think of sometimes I watch combat story shows, like blogs, where they talk about war, being in war, okay? And they tell war stories. That's a better way to say it. They tell war stories. And there were a couple of them where they were talking about how they came under fire and they ended up, because of what they call the fog of war. When war happens, communication, listen to this, we're getting heavy here. When war happens, communication is difficult. So your communication skills and technology and whatever you have to communicate, it's a valuable thing. Communication breaks down, and what happens, you end up getting friendly fire. So I've seen battle stories where they talk about where they were firing on friendly fire. They're firing on each other. You see what I'm saying? So you know what I'm saying? When you're in combat, communication is key. You got to know the enemy. You got to know who you're fighting. And just like the word says, we battle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, spiritual wickedness in high place. So it's a spiritual war. And a lot of people get that twisted. And they end up being a lot of friendly fire, okay? I'm telling you, there ends a lot of friendly fire ends up ensuing. So you have to be, you know what I'm saying, in warfare, spiritual or physical, you got to make sure you're engaging the enemy. That's the problem I see with a lot of people, man, because they studied up in the Bible. They've taken, they have the tools, the weapons of warfare. They got the Spirit. They got the Holy Spirit. They're studied up on the Word. You know what I'm saying? They have the faith. They're praying, they're fasting, they're seeking God. But when it comes time to engage the enemy, they're not engaging the enemy. They're still letting the enemy deceive them. And again, I hit the nucleus of this thing at the beginning of the video. Okay, I hit the nucleus of this video at the very beginning of where the war is at, man. That 6 inches of real estate in between your ears. And when you're not battling a weapon to attack others. Y'all put 100 up in there if that's making sense. Okay? But we have to be aware of this simple truth. I mean, when you look in the Word, it's all through the Word. It's deeply embedded in that Word. It's all through it. And that's what this series, the journey inwards, that's what it's about. We have to look within. We got to deal with ourselves. And I'm telling you, the results are immediately evident when you begin the journey inwards. The humility comes on you, the meekness, the empathy, the patience. The fruits of the Spirit begin to manifest almost immediately as you begin to journey inwards and see where the enemy is lurking within. A peace comes on you. You begin to build and develop a relationship with yourself and the Most High. You begin to enjoy just the peace of being with you and Most High. External things, external people, places, and things, the distraction of them, if they're a distraction, or the attraction of them falls off, and a peace ensues in you. So you have to know where you're fighting, where the battle is, man. And really think I'm gonna try to promote this video somehow more, but we really need to dig into this thing, and like I said, look with it, just like the word says. How are you gonna war against these spirits that are messing with you? It's one of the messages. It ain't a shotgun message. It's a hand grenade message. It's not the superficial, fake religiosity type stuff. This is where the heavy work is at. Anyway, y'all, that's all I got. I'm Michael Israel, Spiritual Comment.